explore Central Park with our audio guide. That's a pretty cool idea. What's poppin', people? It's Dante, currently in Central Park, just entering, going for a hike. Yeah, there's something about Central Park when I visit New York City where I just always gravitate here. It's just very interesting to me how this gigantic park is positioned in the center of this gigantic maze, which is New York City, right? Yeah, I really enjoy Central Park. I think there's something about the variation and the elevation. You know, as you can see, just walking up these rocks, looking out, there's just so much more open space. I just feel better here. You know, I feel good here. I feel powerful at an elevated view. Look at this incredible bench. Georgia, 1996 to 2011. Oh wow, that was when I was born. Very young. 15. A great red bear in the park every day was a new day. Love the Gonzi family. Yeah, I always love when there's plaques on benches. This bench in particular is just so cool. I love this bench. This is a nice bench. Yeah, I love using the Ricoh's macro mode and photographing. Oh, look at this bug. Look at that bug. That's a cool bug. Yeah, there's something about the macro and yeah, just photographing everything, all the details, you know, going close to bugs, trying to catch focus. There we go. Yeah, it's nice, you know, like this tiny bug on this bench where these rocks are, where this bug dwells. You know, the city and the human navigating that terrain, you know, the sidewalks, the streets, you know, using cars. You know, the city becomes our sort of environment, right? The paved roads, you know, where you too feel like a little bug navigating through the city streets. But yeah, maybe humans feel best in open spaces. When I visit New York and I head out my door, I mean, you're just surrounded by chaos, you know, you're surrounded by people, you're surrounded by so much energy, you know, which is great for street photography, but I don't believe that this is necessarily good for human thriving. Wow, this is like a little hut. It's so nice. Yeah, I think man, people just walk so fast throughout the city of New York, like way faster than Philly. Like the way people walk is insane to me. Like they are just going, like you would think they're running a marathon or something, but walking. Oh, an interesting thing I've seen today is there's apparently like like Pokemon Go. Apparently that's still a thing. I've seen like hundreds of people walking around with like 2 or 3 cell phones. Maybe we should just call them iPhones. However, some of them have iPhones and Androids, and they're like wielding like three phones. They have like phones like on their chest mounts, and they're like wearing these like backpacks with the Pokemon they'd like to trade, and like it's just very crazy how that's still. I didn't think that was still a thing. I thought, but I mean, the good thing about that game is it at least gets the gamers out of the house, and it gets the gamers moving. Like, that's the problem with most video games, is you're stationary, you're sitting inside. Maybe that's why I used to love the Game Boy, and I used to play the Game Boy at Spruce Street Harbor and just lay out on the hammock in Philadelphia playing Pokemon Silver. Yeah, Pokemon Silver was my favorite Pokemon because I remember the movie Pokemon 2000 when I was a little boy, watching that on the VHS and loving that movie with Lugia as the legendary Pokemon in Pokemon Silver. And yeah, my favorite Pokemon became Cyndaquil because of this. I actually remember trading one of my little toys for my friend's Cyndaquil toy when I was a kid, and yeah, that was just yeah, that was my favorite Pokemon. and that was the starter Pokemon I would select. But yeah, that's still a thing. I mean, look at this turtle. I like turtles. Turtle. Yeah, I think, yeah, I kind of like to move like the turtle, you know, very slow when I'm on the street and just take my time. You know, we kind of just rush around, slaves to time. But yeah, I don't mind just going with the flow. I think the more you hunt and look for pictures, you know, especially if you visit New York and you're like looking for photos and things, the worse off you'll be. You kind of just want to let life flow towards you and just become an observer, right? Enjoy the visual feast of life, you know, all of the details. The turtles stuck in the hole here, trying to get out of that hole. Or is he trying to get in the hole? I don't know if do the turtles live in these little holes? But you kind of just want to let life flow towards you, right? The photos will come. I went to Coney Island yesterday. Oh wow, this looks like one of those Japanese trees. Oh, someone's sleeping there. Yeah, I went to Coney Island for the 4th of July celebration, which was pretty interesting. Just so many people on the beach. Very nostalgic for me. I used to go to the Ocean City boardwalk during 4th of July in New Jersey. Yeah, so I grew up going to the beach a lot in the summer. It was nice to go to the beach for a change. And yeah, it's definitely good for street photography. I'd suggest visiting Coney Island, and Queens is good. Last year I went there, which was really nice. Just different environments. I think that New York has so much to offer in terms of, you know, different neighborhoods, parks, and places to explore. And yeah, I can definitely see the reason why people like practicing street photography here. However, I'm reminded of how grateful I am for living in Philadelphia, where I wake up. Oh, I see the people playing Pokemon Go. I wake up and I can go on a nice trail and walk in nature, similar to this experience, right? That's why I came here. I'm glad I'm close by to Central Park. But yeah, I see the people playing Pokemon Go right now. They have like their phone. They're just walking around and like swiping their phone. I never played it before. Maybe similarly to Pokemon Go, when we're practicing street photography, it's kind of like we're looking for that rare Pokemon, right? In Pokemon, I think there's the shiny Pokemon, right? I remember the shiny Pokemons. You know, is this guy playing Pokemon on the bike? Yeah. I don't know, maybe. I'm just assuming everyone on their phone's playing Pokemon, but there's definitely a Pokemon thing going on. It's kind of funny. Yeah, maybe like the Pokemon in the game, right? The like shiny Pokemon that are maybe dropped only like 1%. You have like a 1% chance of finding one. Those really rare Pokemon, those legendary Pokemon, those shiny Pokemon. Maybe that's kind of what we're hoping for with our photography, right? That kind of rare moment, that photograph that will showcase something that hopefully hasn't been seen before or in that way, right? We're looking for something unique, we're looking for something different, and yeah, maybe that's something that requires lots of grinding, right? Lots of time spent working. And when you're playing Pokemon, you know, you wind up walking through the bush over and over again, exploring the same path, that same lane every single day, and you'll be encountering these Rattatas, right? These level 1, level 2 Rattatas, right? Those little rats that are in the grass, and you know, they're pretty valueless. They're not really valuable Pokemon. And yeah, but we're gonna make a lot of photos like that. We're gonna make a lot of level 2 Rattatas, and we're gonna be finding a lot of those along our journey. But maybe every once in a blue moon, there's that 1% chance that you'll find a shiny. You'll find a rare moment. You'll find something. Look at this ridiculous glass building. Maybe those are apartments or condos or something. They're just so thin, and just like, it almost just looks like it would just like, I could like blow it up, like just blow some air and it'll fall over or something. Oh wow, they got like a ping pong, or that looks like a pickleball. Yeah, city pickleball. Yeah, maybe that's a good sport. Looks kind of fun. Look at this little squirrel munching away. Bye bye, squirrel. Hey, squirrely. Yeah, Central Park, it's pretty cool. I like all these different rocks, the variation of elevation. It's good. But yeah, I'm definitely grateful to live and be born in Philadelphia. There's something about Philly and the sort of size of the city where I can walk and cover the entire city in a like very short period of time, pretty much every single day. And yeah, there's something about the city and how walkable it is that I appreciate. For instance, I had to get a train for like an hour and a half or something, or an hour and 15 minutes or whatever. Yeah, basically like an hour and a half to get to Coney Island yesterday. And it's just crazy. Like, New York City is basically like its own country, it feels like. Whereas Philadelphia feels more like a tight-knit kind of like community. You see the same people every day. New York City, it's kind of just like random NPCs refreshing over and over again, kind of like the Pokemon they encounter playing this game. But yeah, it's still nice to come here every once in a while. Maybe I visit New York once a year. But yeah, I haven't really explored. I mean, you could explore Central Park all day, I'm sure. Maybe I'll do that. Just walk around this park, drink some water. Hey, is this the bridge where the boy from Home Alone encountered the pigeon lady? What if it is? Look, is this it? It reminds me of it. I think it is. Let's see. The drip rock arch. Yeah, look. Is this it? Is this from that movie? Yeah, I definitely prefer more open spaces like this. You know, when I was on the Coney Island boardwalk yesterday, I was finding it difficult to make a coherent photograph, you know, something readable from the foreground to the background, just due to the amount of people and the congested nature of the boardwalk. Whereas along the beach, you know, with the water in the background and the horizon, I was able to make, I believe, better pictures, more readable pictures. And so that's why I spent the entire time on the beach. However, when I was on the boardwalk, what I realized was dropping to a low angle, using the sky as a background, you know, this kind of approach of positioning myself and my camera at a low angle and sort of creating a more dramatic photograph, placing the figures against the sky. Yeah, I was able to make a more, you know, a successful picture, if you will. And yeah, it reminds me of physicality and agility, and within the realm of photography, right, where when you're approaching life and you're approaching the moments that are fleeting, you have to position yourself at a particular vantage point to create a composition, right? Through your intuition and positioning yourself and your camera, you put a puzzle together, right? It's like we oftentimes get caught up with the eye angle, the eye level, and this is what my critique of the viewfinder, right? The rangefinder, the viewfinder. You know, you're stuck to that angle. But I can put my Ricoh or whatever, using any camera with an LCD screen, up against the concrete. I can throw it up high. You know, I can manage to make compositions and make photographs in particular ways that, yeah, I otherwise wouldn't be able to make with a traditional camera with a viewfinder. And so for street photography, it's actually really important that I use an LCD screen going forward in order to break free from, you know, all traditional modes of photographing, making compositions, etc. And so, yeah, with that, it was a good time overall. I probably walked on that beach for like 5 hours straight, just going back and forth, having a lot of fun, so much energy. You know, as much as I love the energy of the streets, the beach, and being surrounded by people, I really do appreciate green spaces I appreciate the fresh air, you know, away from the hustle and bustle. It's just where I feel best. And you know, to be honest with you, all of my favorite photographs, they've been made along the outskirts. They've been made in places that are less charted, you know, where submerging yourself in the crowd all day may increase your chances of finding something, but there's something special about going your own way, forging your own path, and finding moments that maybe will otherwise go unnoticed. Like, there really is something about finding your own path, going your own way, and yeah, just making pictures along the outskirts. You know, everywhere I've traveled, I found my most successful photos along the outskirts. Yeah, maybe Central Park kind of has that feeling of being on the outskirts that I like. I see the zoo, I think, or a cafe.